Some people enter our lives like storms, others like silence. Daniel was silence. Every morning, he sat by the cafe window, watching the world pass as if it belonged to someone else. He believed quiet was safer than hope, that if he never reached for anything, nothing could be taken from him. He had built walls around his heart not to keep others out, but to keep his own past contained, a quiet fortress against the chaos of feeling. His routine was a shield, each predictable action a prayer for numbness. Then Amara walked in. She carried rain on her shoulders and dreams in her eyes. She spoke with her hands, laughed without permission, and filled empty spaces without trying. She didn't just exist in a room, she inhabited it, her energy painting the corners with light. She didn't notice Daniel at first. To her, he was just part of the cafe's quiet scenery, a shadow against the glass. But Daniel noticed her. He watched her from his safe distance, drawn to the life that radiated from her, a warmth he hadn't realized he was missing until he saw it. The day they met was an accident, a simple moment of forgotten money, an offered kindness. Two strangers found themselves sitting across from each other, pretending not to feel the subtle shift in the air. The space between them, once empty, was now charged with unspoken possibility. They talked about nothing important and about everything that mattered. Daniel listened like someone afraid to interrupt a miracle, hanging on every word, every gesture. Amara spoke like someone who had waited far too long to be heard, her stories pouring out, filling the silence he had curated for so long. Days turned into a shared routine. Their coffee shop meetings became an anchor in the flow of time. That routine turned into a quiet need, a magnetic pull they both felt but didn't dare name. And that need, softly, carefully, became love. It was a love that grew in the pauses, in the shared glances, in the comfortable silence that now felt like a conversation all its own. For the first time, Daniel's silence wasn't about being alone. It was about being with her. But love frightened Daniel. Love asks questions that silence cannot answer. It demands risk, vulnerability, a leap of faith. And Daniel had already lost too much once before. The ghost of a past heartbreak clung to him, whispering warnings in his ear. Amara felt it, the distance in his pauses, the words he swallowed right before they could escape, the way he looked at her like she was a beautiful, temporary mirage he was afraid to touch. She saw the fear in his eyes, a shadow that dimmed the light of their connection. Still, she loved him anyway. She loved him with a patience she didn't know she possessed, hoping her warmth could eventually melt the ice around his heart. Until one evening, beneath a sky too heavy with stars, the weight of their unspoken future became too much to bear. She asked the question he feared most. Why do you keep standing at the edge of us? Daniel looked away, his gaze lost somewhere in the night. Because if I step forward, I might fall. A sad, knowing smile touched Amara's lips. And if you don't, you'll never fly. The truth of her words hung between them, heavy and absolute. That night, for the first time, she was the one who walked away. Her footsteps faded into the darkness, leaving him standing alone at the edge he refused to cross. Daniel returned to his silence. But it was different now. It no longer protected him. It haunted him. The quiet he once found comforting was now a roaring void, echoing with everything he hadn't said, everything he hadn't done. He filled notebooks with words meant for her, pages and pages of apologies he would never speak. He practiced conversations in his empty apartment, memorizing the courage he should have had. And when he finally found the strength to choose her, to risk the fall for the chance to fly, he raced back to the cafe, his heart a frantic drum against his ribs. But she was gone. A letter waited at their table, her familiar handwriting a final, gentle blow. I loved you quietly, it read, and you loved me carefully. But love should be brave, and I could not wait forever. Daniel sat where they once laughed, where her presence had filled the air. The chair across from him remained empty, a stark monument to his hesitation. And for the first time, his silence was not safe. It was unbearable. Some love stories don't end with forever. They end with almost. They end with words spoken too late, with hearts that learn courage only after the moment has passed. And maybe the saddest truth of all is that love does not always fail because it isn't real. Sometimes, it fails simply because we were too afraid to hold it while we had the chance. If this story touched something you felt but never said, this is your place. Welcome to Chizzy's Craft, where emotions are carved into stories and silence is given a voice. Subscribe now, like this video, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because somewhere out there, Someone is waiting for a story that sounds just like their heart. Chizzy's Craft. Stories that linger, even after the screen fades to black.